wants to get their business booming. They want to get their business booming right where they are and globally. Well, guess what? There are books that can help you get your business booming. And I Lotus Riche, consultant, here to bring to you speakers, and change makers that's going to help you get your business booming. So come on in and get in because I've got amazing speakers like Welcome back to Books Boom Your Business with my amazing guest coming straight to you on this free. Check it out. Free webinar on books. Get your business booming. Guess what? We're going global. Gonna also show it Facebook Live. So see you there. Get in where you fit. Get books that get your business booming. See you other side. Woo! Hey. Ho, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, everybody, and welcome back to Books to Boom Your Business. This is Dr. Lotus Riche, and I'm in your face, and we in the way. You know why? Because we want you to have a great day. I am so happy to be here with my amazing guest. Woo! Miss Phyllis Weaver came in earlier on the 1 o'clock hour, and she rocked it, telling us all about her amazing book. What? She is a person that helps people all around the world with diabetes and a myriad of health concerns. And if you're trying to get tight and get right and get your diet like out of sight, you want to talk to Miss Phyllis Weaver. She can help you with physical exercise. She can help you with your diet. She can help you get your mind right and help your body get light and tight. So anyway, and some of us don't want a body that's light and tight because I like to be a little on the thick side. But if you're going to be thick, be fit. Okay, so we got Miss Phyllis Weaver in the house. And then, of course, Dr. Beraki was doing double, triple duty. She had herself on with us earlier, but she knew she was coming here at the 5 o'clock hour, and she was supporting us from where she was, giving the best health care, mental health to the people that she serves. So my hat's off to Dr. Beraki. My hat's off to Miss Phyllis Weaver. So those of you that's just joining me, let me tell you a little bit about my guest. My guest is a pharmacist. She's a master health coach. She's a speaker. She's an author. She's an event host. And she's here today, coming back for round 2 of Books to Boom Your Business. Yeah, you're going to love her. She's all the way here from Virginia. That's right. And then I want you to welcome all the way from the Bronx, New York, Dr. Nailah Beraki. That's right. She's a psychologist. She's an author. She's a speaker. She's a holistic business coach. And let me tell you what she does for us. Dr. Beraki, she reminds us that fear is causing self-isolation. She reminds us that fear is everywhere. And acceptance of self-inflicted fear can mean loss of income, health, and relationships, causing you and me to lose the ability to enjoy just the basic activities of life. And in her book, Fear is a Good Thing, you're going to learn to release the disconnect created by your fear-based belief systems that are limiting your life today. So let's put fear in the right perspective. You could save yourself years of therapy using fear as a good book and a good guide. So look, let me share this with you. I've got some secret sauce. She's got another book out. And today we're going to talk about it. But I'm going to wait to get her up here to tell you guys all about it. So with no further ado, I'm going to put us all on the screen so you can see us all. And Gail Richardson is with us here in the Zoom. Hey, Gail, I see you. Whenever you can come on the screen, because we want to see your adorable face. But first things first, let's go ahead and bring up the amazing two ladies, Dr. Beraki. Come on in. And of course, Miss Phyllis Weaver, come on in. How y'all doing, friends?
Hi.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I gotta tell you, ladies, I'm so happy to have you guys here. It's just and folks, I know they're ladies. I say you guys. I'm from New Jersey, so just give me a break right there. So
I understand.
Woo! Dr. Beraki, Miss Phyllis, she came in today, did a triple flip, half somersault, and a mic drop. Just amazing. So, Doc, I know you're about to do the same. We got folks streaming in. So, folks, as you see, we're streaming in from all over the world. So we're going to give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I want you to tag somebody. Tell them to come on in because, look, they need this information. I want to welcome you to the show, first and foremost. I want you to tag a friend. And come on in. We're going to take 30 seconds. I know you can do this. I know you can tell people to come on in. You know why? Because this is going to help somebody that needs this, that you may not even know is in need. So let's reach out. 30 seconds. Here goes. Come on in and tag a friend. We got Dr. Nailah Beraki here telling us that fear is a good thing. And we're going to get some secret sauce on that new book she got coming out. Woo! It's a collaboration you don't want to miss. And of course, reverse diabetes with Miss Phyllis Weaver. Tag somebody and come on in. All right, fantastic. Well, you had your 30 seconds. We appreciate you from all over the world coming in. We see many of you coming in already. So thank you. So let's get right into this thing. Dr. Beraki, we want to talk to you right up first and foremost. And we want to talk about fear. And we're also going to talk about the reverse diabetes. And Miss Phyllis Weaver is going to share parts of her book. So folks, you got to get the book. But she's going to share something with us as a secret sauce. So, Dr. Beraki, again, thank you for being here. You are phenomenal at what you do. Can you tell us a little bit about fear is a good thing, but then I want the real secret sauce. I want you to go into that book. I want the secret sauce. Y'all see the secret sauce down below the screen. I want the secret sauce on the new book. So the floor is yours.
I truly believe fear is a good thing because, we look at fear as one thing.
Yes.
And the truth is that if we didn't look at fear as a good thing, there are many times a lot of us wouldn't be here because it's that fear, it's like, Phyllis, I can't take my eyes off your book. Versus diabetes. The fear of having diabetes or being sick with it, maybe the good fear will have you to change your diet and lifestyle.
Right.
Maybe they'll have you read that book, Reversing Diabetes. Fear has to keep you from petting a rattlesnake like it's your family pet, right? so when we look at fear as bad, it's because this is something that has been instilled in us. This is something that we've learned. We're not born that way. Babies are basically afraid of, being startled, or if they're hungry, they'll cry. But everything else is pretty much learned, and it becomes, in the instinctive go-to.
Yes.
I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of the dark. And we don't have a lot of explanation for our fears. And when I think about it, and with, with all the many clients I've seen, all of us have pretty much have overcome many of our life's fears.
Yes.
So it's like being on a merry-go-round. It keeps coming back, and they look different. So when I'm working with people, I don't so much work with problems as I do with the person, the whole person, and working with how to work with their own fears or what it is, or when it comes up, that we can face it and say, okay, what is this really about? It's just something I'm just reacting to. Let me take a moment and breathe so I can respond to it and just get that energy of fear out of the body, because it is, within the body. We don't want to get rid of fear because we don't want to get rid of the good fear, but we want to minimize that negative fear or that disconnected fear, so that it doesn't overtake us and we can't think. It's hard to think and create and make good decisions when you're in fight or flight syndrome. Right. So I wanted to write about that because I wanted people to just kind of think about how this, what this fear really is.
Yes.
Fear is mentioned in the Bible over 600 times. Fear
Yep.
not.
Yep.
Fear not. It's just like, because there's, it's just like, oh, wait a minute, something's wrong. Wait a minute, this is a setup, right? Somebody making a lot of money off of this fear.
Yep. Yep. You're 100% right.
Yeah. So after going through so many of my own, overcoming so many of my own fears and having to laugh at myself, I do that once a day. That's good therapy. It really is therapy. It's science. That I wanted to share with other people, because I wrote about fear through the ages. Because when we're younger, we're kind of fearless, and fearless is a word we like, be fearless, but that may not be a good decision under certain circumstances. That's something to think about. In the 20s, we have no fear. We're not thinking about just doing what we want. The 30s, we're thinking about, I have an identity. Let me start thinking about that. 40s, we're doing foundation. 50s, we're like, where do I fit in now? I've done this. I've been married 3 times. I got 9 kids. And then 60 is like, do something to entertain me. Because I know what I want, don't want, and I'm not having that. And the 70s, it's like, I'm just going to do, whatever. You don't agree? And just keep on moving. And between 80 and 100, God willing, you already know who your best friend is.
Exactly.
So you're hanging out with the king, with God. You're just doing your thing, and you're trusting, and you're sharing that message with everyone. And it's life cycles. So we can choose how we're going to live. We don't have to live in that disconnected fear. We can use that good fear, and good fear is our instinct, our intuition, and our trust.
Awesome.
Allows us to take action. That bad fear is overwhelming. It's dark. It wants to keep you in the corner, not making a decision, not working out on your goals. Some people use fear as an excuse not to do something because they don't know the outcome. Well, we don't know the outcome. We're in the process. No one can tell you that that's not going to work.
Right.
It may not work out the way you planned it, which gives you more information on how you can do it differently. We have to be really, mindful of how we address our fears and our overwhelming.
And I think I'm hearing you say you got to trust yourself. When you can trust yourself, it will kind of help to overshadow that fear and help move you into the action to get you on the road to right.
Absolutely. Because the question is, is it real? Because a lot of the time it's self-inflicted. It's not real.
Exactly.
We scare ourselves.
Exactly. I think Les Brown always talks about, he says that fear is false evidence appearing real, but we're actually conditioned globally. And, I've traveled the world. Many of you've traveled, Phyllis traveled. And we know that fear isn't just something that's bottled up and kept here in the United States. Everybody around the world has a level of fear. And a lot of that is taught because, and I say that because children, you ever have that 1-year-old that's just jumping off everything, standing on the couch, just jumping. This is just jumping.
Fearless.
Exactly. But we learn fear, and then we forget that we have to trust ourselves. So I love that. So Dr. Beraki, let's chat a little bit about some secret sauce. So I understand that you have a book that's out, and it is called Unstoppable, written with Rochelle Lawson. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Unstoppable. Wear that hat. I love it. So
yes,
you're in this book. I think there are a number of authors. How many authors is in this book?
I believe it's 21.
Okay, 21 authors.
Amazing women. I learned so much and some great stories. In that book. And I just want to say before I get into that there are some things to be afraid of.
Yes.
Let's not. There are some things to be afraid of.
Yes.
But your body, your body mind will inform you, and that's why we have to learn how to trust ourselves. I just wanted to make sure that
I love that. I love that.
But this book, Unstoppable, I am so excited to be a participant with this is Braveheart Productions, and they are amazing. They have produced over 60 books, and what this book the collaboration is that what would we want to say to our future selves, to our future children, coming up, because they're walking on the foundation of all of us.
Right.
What would we want them to know? And I thought about, again, I believe I will always be writing about this misconception, of fear, and helping people like put the seatbelt on, put fear, in the back seat, and let it fly.
Yes.
Unstoppable for me, I wrote chapter 19, and it's called the Blue Chakra.
Blue Chakra.
And that came to me because, fear wants your business.
Yep. That's true.
Fear wants your life. So what I did was I thought about, as a psychologist and as a business coach, fear shows up in a business place. So to be a business owner is a challenge. You think about everything you can to keep yourself healthy and balanced and whole. So why should your business be any different, right? So in my experience, I looked at how fear affects every area of our life. And I thought because we spend the majority of our time at work or in our business,
right,
that we should begin to look at the energy and what blocks it and the pain it creates and the courage to overcome it.
Right.
And everybody's thinking about a particular formula. Does this, what works, what doesn't work? And then also mentally, here comes fear again, adding a lot of possibilities of what won't work up. So fear shows up in a great part of every area of our life. Because fear wants your business and it wants your energy. Because the time you spend, worrying about things, you can spend half a day. And that will lead to procrastination. Procrastination is one of fear's relatives.
Right.
So I was reading some research about how procrastination a week takes up at least 30 hours. So that means like there's a couple of hours a day where people just sit in the chair worrying about stuff, feeling fearful and not taking action. And you look at how many hours that is in a week, you've spent pretty much up to 30 hours just thinking about it. You haven't taken any action, and it requires action to be successful. I guess I should tell people about that blue chakra, right?
Yes. Yes. Tell us about that.
Chakra? So, we're using the term chakra is the system of energy. And the word chakra comes from Sanskrit in the ancient language of India. And it literally means a wheel or disc or, they're like CDs or floppy, and we use these programs, the heart, the gut, the brain, they're all systems. And they're all, we program them. We program the feelings, and they're stored in our memories. And so the chakras exist in every area of the body. There are 7 chakras that we speak of. There are actually 12, but that's a whole show in itself talking about chakra. But the blue chakra is the throat chakra. And it exists in the meeting point of the mind and the body. So it's bottleneck between your head and your heart. So it's a subtle body. It has a physical location, but it's the energy, and it interacts with the unconscious mind and your physical body. So even though they're not physical to us, they are there. And for the throat chakra, you ever have that butterfly in your stomach or the frog in your throat? In those those areas where the energy gets stuck, like just before a speech, or something that you have to do in public, and you kind of like you feel that bottleneck between the head and the heart right here in that throat. And so it's translating. So you could it could translate fear and stop you. You can pause, take a breath, and you can continue. And people in the audience will understand if you're like, oh wow.
Yes.
But you don't let it stop you.
Right.
And so I said, let me write about this, because a lot of times when we get stuck here, that means that the chakra around the heart is kind of, they're not spinning properly, and the brain. So we get into a panic, we get fearful, and we say, this is not going to work. I'm going to stop. We're not going to do it, or I'm not going to even try because so-and-so did it. It didn't work for them. But we don't know their story, not really.
Exactly.
So I thought it was important to share about the energy, how we use our energy.
Yes.
And how we can use the energy that we are worried and stressed and procrastinating, how we can turn that energy into profit.
Yes.
Into joy.
Yes.
Into happiness.
Yes.
Satisfaction. Because you can sustain satisfaction a lot longer than you can be happy. I'm not happy today, but I'm satisfied.
Amen.
You can't be on all the time, but you can feel good within yourself, content.
Exactly.
So I thought it was important to share that, because a lot of young people are coming up. There's a lot more going on out here in the world than what was going on when I was coming up. We didn't have any social media, those things. We were scared to death just by the stories we heard in person. Now we got body coming from everywhere. And I want them to know that they can work with their own energy. They can learn how to breathe, and pace themselves.
Right.
They can laugh. Nothing has to be funny for laugh therapy. It's about releasing that energy out of the body, because the body mind is intelligent, and everything that's ever happened to us in our life is stored in the cellular at the cellular level, right? Cells. Right. So when you start laughing, or even if you start crying until you laugh till you cry, it's a release.
Yes.
And we don't think about that. We're just like, I cried. You feel better? Yeah, I feel better. But we don't think about, why do I feel better? It's a release, of that energy. And once that energy comes out of the body, you'll remember the story, but you won't have that trigger. You won't have that emotional trigger.
Exactly.
I use a lot of different techniques, for that in my work when I work with clients. So I love talking.
And so here's some secret sauce.
Yes.
Dr. Beraki is affectionately known as Miss or Dr. Laugh a Lot. She came on one of our shows, News You Can Use, and she's such a breath of fresh air. And so, Miss Phyllis, you've been on the show a couple of times, and hearing Dr. Beraki with what you do with your clients, how does that pair when we talk about laughter and it affecting us on a cellular level? How does that pair with what you do with people with diabetes and other chronic illness?
Oh my goodness, laughter is biblical. Laughter makes the heart fonder. Laughter is good for the soul. Laughter does so much for you. And when someone is dealing with diabetes or any other chronic illness, when they think about maybe the challenges that they may be going through with it, and someone says something that makes them laugh, it really does take some of that stress away. It makes you feel so much better. Even if you have to laugh about something that you do with it. For example, if you use insulin and you think about, oh my goodness, if I have to prick my finger one more time, to test my blood sugar, and then you look at it, and then something happens and you trigger and you just start laughing. It's like, well, this is something I know I have to do, so I might as well do it. And when you laugh about it, it makes it so much easier, and you can just go poof, and it doesn't even hurt, But if you sit there and you think about, oh God,
Build in fear.
It's just that, it just builds up, and then by the time you do it, it's like, and it's already hurting before you even get there. It's like, just go ahead and do it and laugh about it later, and life just goes on. You just gotta push through it and make the best of it.
Awesome. I love that. So I know that for the most part, ladies, both of you have worked with clients and patients from a myriad of backgrounds. So I want to ask, what has been one of your most challenging encounters, and why, and how did you help them, Dr. Beraki, to overcome with your speciality, helping them over fear, helping them to understand what's in your new book now? How did you do that? And then Miss Phyllis, the same question to you. How did you help someone with diabetes? I know you helped yourself. You lost at least 70 pounds once you made up your mind. You just took the reins and you went for it. So the same thing for you. And this is popcorn style. Whoever wants to go first, please do.
Well, I'll go ahead. So for me, there are all kinds of challenges, and so one of the challenges is having to take all of the different medications and going to making sure that you're following up on all of your, doing all of the things that you need to do, keeping your journal, monitoring your food, prepping your food, and but the biggest challenge is knowing someone who has an injury on their toe, and they're told that if they don't make any changes, then they're going to have to lose their toe and maybe their whole leg. And so it's time for them to, think about what they're doing. Are you eating properly? Are you sleeping properly? How are you managing your stress? Are you testing? Are you cleaning your feet? A lot of people don't clean their feet properly, and it is really important with diabetics. And so for them, the fear of losing a limb, especially when they've seen another family member do that, and it's a possibility that they're headed that way, just talking to them and explaining to them how they need to massage, make sure that circulation is flowing so that they can get blood moving all to those extremities, especially the lower extremities. And so that's the biggest thing. And so talking to them about what they need to do and how important it is, and to see where they are now and visualize where they want to be. When they can see where they want to be and really believe, then it makes things so much better for them, and it makes them want to take one step further to go towards reaching that goal. So that's the biggest thing, just the thought of losing a limb.
Yeah. Miss Phyllis, I almost laughed out loud because the thought came to me like, oh, you need to do a show on how to wash your feet for diabetics. And it might sound funny, but this is true, because the average person is not taught how to wash their body. Our moms, our dads, grandmothers, uncles, aunts, whomever, big sisters, big brothers, whatever, they wash us, right? But nobody really sits with a person and say, okay, grab your foot and wash your foot and do this. Don't put lotion between the toes. Nobody really teaches us how to really thoroughly take care of our bodies. So I think that's a very important point that you made in that regard. So, and I really would like to revisit that on one of my other shows where we can really talk about that, because I feel that is news that people can use on how to take care of their feet, especially not only if they're diabetic, but just a normal person without any type of ailments, because that is critical. So thanks for sharing that, Miss Phyllis, everything that you said. Just powerful. Dr. Beraki?
Yeah, I love that, and I would love to join in on that, because I used to teach reflexology at the College of Health Professions, and a lot of people don't know that the feet. I was looking for my little map.
Yep.
So there are 7,800 nerve endings in the feet that are connected to every part of the body, and this is another way that the ancients used to learn. This is before Western medicine. That if you work the feet are head to toe, starting with the thumb, with the head, top of the head, teeth, everything is there. So if you learn how to, as you say, manipulate the feet or walk, as a particular walk that you do in reflexology, this can tell you a lot about what's happening in your body.
Right.
This is what we use in naturopathic medicine. We look at the feet, the hands, we look at the eyes, look at iridology, we look at the ears, feel the pulses, depending on which form of they call it alternative medicine. I call it first medicine.
Yes.
So there's so much to learn, but the feet, especially, which we depend on to take us through every journey that we've ever been on in our life. It is so important. And we stand in the shower a lot of times. We wash and we rinse, and we just step onto the rug.
Yep.
Throw some maybe throw some grease, because being women of color, it was against the law to be ashy. You got ashy leg, problem. So you learn how to do that, but then that's it for the feet.
Yeah.
So get a manicure, special occasion. A pedicure, special occasion, but that should be, part of it. But mainly learning how to take care of your feet and wash. I think that would be really, really good.
Okay, well, fantastic. It's on. And if those of you around the world, even our folks that are playing this on repeat, if you want to see a show on taking care of the feet, not just for diabetics, but for all people, just go ahead and put a number 1 in the comment block below, because here's the thing. You don't know what you don't know until you know that you don't know. So good stuff. So Dr. Beraki, share with us, what has been a challenge for you? How have you helped people through their challenges with One, your first book, Fear is a Good Thing, and then your new book, Unstoppable, that you co-authored with the 21 authors with Rochelle Lawson spearheading it, and your wonderful chapter 19, The Blue Chakra.
Well, it's sort of like, growing up and we're talking about, our parents talk about the same thing all the time. We keep looking at them like, why you keep talking about the same thing all the time? But we have to keep talking about the same thing all the time. And from different perspectives, somebody will say, oh, I get that now. Or, okay, I can do something about this. I don't have to live this way. I don't have to think this way. So
Right.
with fear, it's a good thing. There's a lot of clients that, their lifestyle cost them income, relationships, and they were taking it to work. And most of my clients,
Yes.
when I'm working with them on building their business, that same fear, it shows up in every area of your life.
Exactly.
So I thought, okay, I'll approach it this way, talk about fear through the ages, what it is, what it's really not, and the goodness of it, because it can save your life. It can,
Yes.
there's so much to learn from your fears. Fears, people doing things, talking about you and doing you wrong. All these things are great lessons. Not that I'm looking that you're looking for it, but when these things happen, this is where we learn our greatest lessons, in our pain and when things are happening to us. Otherwise, a lot of times we're not thinking about, our health. So someone comes to see me in reference to fear, it's a good thing. So they come to see me, build a business, whatever, and I'm a holistic, doctor, and what's going on? What are you eating? How are you living? When I hear what they're eating and they're not sleeping, which if you're not sleeping, that's your game over. Okay, but you're drinking coffee at 10 because you're overworked. You say you're overworked and you're underpaid. You're drinking coffee and eating a chocolate bar, and you wonder why you can't sleep. You go to the doctor, it takes about 10 minutes or less to get a prescription. Now you got a prescription. Now you're so tired you can't get up in one. Now you got to get another prescription. And you got all this stuff going on. Now you're developing anxiety and nervous, and all of this. It's frightening to people. But
yes,
you have to look at lifestyle. You have to look at everything. You have to look at all of it.
And you got to be consistent.
All together.
Yep. And you got to be consistent.
Things, and we need all of it. But medicine has things in pockets. So if you go to the doctor, about your gut, and while you're there, just endocrinology, and you're talking about that, and then you say, sometimes I just feel like I'm having something going on here. He says, well, let me give you, a referral to endocrine, and then endocrine's like, and take that back to your doctor so that they can put the whole thing together and refer you to whatever you need next. So we're not really in Western medicine. We're not really taught to look at the body as a whole. We have it in compartments. So this is how I was working with a lot of people, and then the blue chakra came to me because that bottleneck, this important chakra where we get choked up, we feel that fog. We've all felt it.
Yep, that's true.
This is where we can just kind of cut ourselves off and not get something done, or even as flawed as perfectly flawed as we are, that we can just keep going.
Right.
Someone can relate to that when you stutter or you stop or you forgot a sentence or it didn't go the way you want. Someone can relate to that. And that's what makes us all unique and wonderful, because we all do this at some level, at some point, sometime.
Right.
And so I thought it was important when Rochelle said, what would we say to our daughters and to our children? And I would say, well, now that people recognize energy work, now that that's out, I've been doing this for over 40 years. And back then it was like, you start talking about energy work, people say, I'm like,
yes.
But, we are breathing. So this is energy, right?
Exactly.
So I thought this is what, since now that it's acceptable and people are, wanting it, because people want to go deeper. They want to know, how I can manage myself. How can I, have a good life. I know there's more in me because God said there's more in me. I feel like there's more in me, but when it gets right here, I can't get it out. Right. And this is the seat of expression and creativity is the throat chakra. Right. So I said, I'm not writing about all the chakras, and in a compilation, you only have so many words you can write about anyway. So I said, I think that for me, that would be the most important connection that we all can relate to, is that throat chakra. Because even if you're nervous, whatever's going on, everything starts at the lower energy. Right. And it comes up. So this is the bottleneck.
Exactly.
It's trapped right here.
Right. So very quickly, I want to pose this question to you. And we're going to take a quick break. because I know Miss Phyllis has another engagement that she has to go to. She is in high demand as well. But we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back. And the question that I'd like both of you to answer before we go, and Miss Phyllis will have you go first, then go to a quick break and then come back, and then Miss Dr. Beraki and I will be on together. The question is this. I would love to have both of you come back to the show, Books to Boom Your Business, and actually do an exercise with us on Books to Boom Your Business, actually taking your book and do an exercise with us. And fortunately, Miss Phyllis is going to read something for us before she goes, and then she could, tell us, yes, I'll come back and do an exercise on my book. Okay, so folks, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Everybody wants to get their business. They want to get their business right where they are. Well, guess what? There are books that can help you get your business booming. Dr. Lotus Riche, nice coaching, and I'm here to bring speakers and change makers that's going to help you get your business booming. So come on in and get in where you fit in, because I've got amazing speakers like coming straight to you on this check it out webinar on books. Guess what? We're going global. We're going to also show it Facebook Live. We'll see you there. Get in where you fit in. Books that get your see you on the other side. Woo! I simply super duper love it. And make sure, the Bible says we have not because we ask not. So please support the channel. The preferred method is Zelle. You can reach out to me on Zelle, PayPal, or Cash App, because it helps me to continue to provide to you the great service of Books to Boom Your Business, the Lotus Riche Ignite Show. Bring who you are as well as news that you can use. And we are ramping up because this is our new season. And so now that we're back, we're going straight to Miss Phyllis. Miss Phyllis is going to grace us with an excerpt from her book. And I'm looking over here because guess what? We are going to kind of remove ourselves from the spotlight, and you have got the spotlight all to yourself.
All right. So I want to share with you all the introduction of Reverse Diabetes Now, the proven 365-day technique. This is the introduction, and it starts like this. I can still hear my family members speak about having sugar. I would ask, what is sugar? But I never got a clear answer. Throughout the years, my family lost limbs, vision, and even their lives from complications related to sugar, which I later found out was diabetes. Diabetes does not care about your age, sex, or ethnicity. It can be relentless and wreak havoc in families and can be pretty costly. My desire is for you to learn and understand diabetes and realize that you can do something about it. You can reverse diabetes too. With the proper tools and actions, you can have the freedom to live a long and fulfilling life and feel better than you could ever imagine. So now, chapter 1, the first section. Are you too sweet? Some people believe that it's inevitable to have type 2 diabetes. Have you ever said or heard someone else say, well, diabetes runs in my family, so I guess I will get it one day. Or I'm getting older And some people say that your body falls apart as you age. So I guess I'll probably get diabetes too. If you say or hear something over and over again, you tend to believe it unless there is some thought intervention. If you already have type 2 diabetes, and or if someone said that you would have it forever, like a death sentence, keep reading. There's hope after prediabetes or type 2 diabetes diagnosis. Thank you.
Wow. I love that. I love that. So we're gonna get us back up on wow. Amazing. I love that you share that. And I'm looking over here, but I'm seeing you. I'm gonna add Dr. Beraki to the spotlight. The fact of the matter is you become what you tell yourself. And at the same time, you know it's unequivocal. You can reverse certain things. You can reverse diabetes. And so if you're wanting to reverse, if you're wanting to change the way you think, if you're wanting to change the way you behave, partner with Miss Phyllis today. That's right. You see it right there. We have not because we ask not. Well, I'm asking. Partner with Miss Phyllis today. Partner with Dr. Beraki today. Why? Because it can, and it will change your life if you make the decision to change your life. But it's up to you. So I want to thank you for sharing what you shared, Miss Phyllis, because it is without question that we die, many of us, because we don't know if we are too sweet. We die for a lack of knowledge. We die because we don't trust ourselves enough to say, hey, I need to make a difference. So we've got to trust ourselves, because if we don't trust ourselves, then we have no one to blame but ourselves. We've got to trust ourselves. So again, partner with Dr. Beraki. Go ahead and partner with Phyllis today as well. Partner with Dr. Beraki today and partner with yourself. And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining the webinar and the show. I want to thank Tina Ezel. She's here. She said, numero uno. She said, I believe that laughter can take away stress as well. It's definitely medicine for the soul. And Dr. Beraki, you talked about procrastination, and she said what you said is so true. Procrastination can be our own worst enemy. So with that being said, as we're nearing the end of the broadcast, I got to tell you, ladies, you just rock. You come into the books to boom your business, and you rock. So what's next, ladies? What's next? Miss Phyllis, I know you got another engagement, so tell us what's next before you jump off. And Dr. Beraki, tell us what's next. We'll go to commercial, then we'll come back with Dr. Beraki's final words of wisdom. Miss Phyllis, what's next?
What's next? Well, first of all, I would love for all of you all to purchase my book because you're going to need it for my summit that's coming up in April. The date is still to be determined, but there is something coming. So stay tuned.
Awesome. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to right down below, you see the ticker. But what I'm about to do is I'm going to take you guys, I'm going to take you to Amazon because I want you to see her book. Okay, Reverse Diabetes. Here, you can see it on the screen. Go right here and get her book. Okay, very affordable, very affordable. Go ahead and get the book. You can see it. You can get it in paperback. You can get it in Kindle. Get this book, Reverse Diabetes Now, the proven 365-day technique that you can use and you cannot lose if you use this technique. Okay, the other thing that I want to share with you very quickly, and I'm going to share this right now. please and thank you. Please and thank you. Go ahead and get this book right here. Let me see if this one will come up for us. Fear is a good thing. You can see you can get it on Amazon, but then I'm going to come back and I'm going to come back to the main book that we want to talk about today on this broadcast. Let me go right here and go ahead and get this book by the remarkable Dr. Beraki herself. Get this book right here. Let me scroll on down. This is Unstoppable. Unstoppable, being fierce, fearless, and you know what? In life and in business. Okay, so get it. It's only $22 in paperback, very affordable. Now, here's the thing. You got 21 people talking to you, sharing their life experience with you to help you come full circle. You can't get no better than that. So, with that being said, I just want to share that with you. I want to thank you guys for going ahead and getting this book from Dr. Beraki and, of course, Miss Phyllis Weaver. So with no further ado, we're going to take a quick break after Miss Phyllis has her final words of wisdom. Then we're going to take a break. Dr. Beraki and I are going to come back for her final words of wisdom. So Miss Phyllis Weaver, I'm going to spotlight you, and you please have your final words of wisdom for today's Books to Boom Your Business.
Well, using Dr. Beraki's words, please don't let fear stop you from taking that next step to level up your health and do something about whether you have prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Please don't let what thoughts are in the back of your head, what things that you've grown up hearing, stop you, and any of your friends or family around you that has doubt around this situation. Don't let anyone stop you. You just go ahead and take that first step towards improving on your health, because you never know. Just like I usually say, all you need to do is take one step, change one habit, and it can change your whole lifestyle and change your life for the better. So thank you so much for having me, and just be brave.
Awesome. So thank you so much. I so truly appreciate you. We're going to take a quick break and hear a little bit from my friend Sam Ebube. Right quick. This is a flash from another show, but we want to show this from Sam Ebube. Okay, we'll be right back.
Alpha and Omega, Dikena, Ọlọ́run tó ga, ayé lọ, ọba ọlọ́lá ti dá, olùtúsílẹ̀ mọ́ balẹ̀.
Awesome. I'm loving it. So welcome back, Dr. Beraki. Again, it's been a wonderful delight to have you here on the show. And don't forget, follow Miss Phyllis on social media. She's on Facebook, and right there below, that's how you can follow her. Make sure you get her book. It's scrolling down below. You can get that on Amazon, as I showed you earlier. And of course, we're right back at Dr. Beraki, all the way from the Bronx, New York, came in, did a wonderful mic drop. So, Dr. Beraki, what are your words of wisdom?
You know, we were talking about fear and associates, or fear and company, because it doesn't travel alone.
Yes.
So I would say to people, we were talking about procrastination, and I have something here that I had some notes, because procrastination goes beyond, work. It can interfere with a number of areas in their life. Like I said, it is fear's cousins, along with anxiety. So it's sort of like you got a small car repair,
Right.
and you're not working on that, and then it gets bigger, and it leads to more expensive repairs. You put off a difficult conversation, and it prolongs the conflict and leads to increased levels of stress.
Right.
Well, entrepreneur business woman that you need. Just need to there's like what's that in the combination.
Recording in progress. Okay, here we go.
Choose not allowing fear to take over your life. It's a good thing.
Come here and let's go here. All right. So, Dr. Beraki, we are back. Okay, so please go ahead and share your final words of wisdom with us, please, and thank you.
Oh,
we had a little technical difficulty. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I was saying, well, I don't know how far we went, but not taking action on your dreams can lead to a life of disappointment and mediocrity. Allowing fear to be in the front seat and drive your life can cause a lifetime of disappointment. Being unstoppable means that you allow your voice to be heard. You take those steps. You know, disappointment may be there. The work may be harder than you thought, but it's part of the journey. You're on the journey and you're on a path. And the only way that you can get from this side of the bridge to the other is that you have to cross it. You cannot stand still. And not go get it. Youngest to the oldest, it's much to be unstoppable in your life. Be unstoppable. And remember, fear is a good thing. It's a great thing.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So with no further ado, folks, make sure you get Dr. Beraki's book, Fear is a Good Thing. Make sure you get her Unstoppable book, and she has much more to come. Dr. Beraki, I know you're getting ready to do some traveling. What's next for you? Where can people reach out to you? And how can people become a client?
They can go right over to NailahBeraki.com. For business to set up a strategy meeting with me. They can also go to Nailah G. Beraki and look at the holistic side, health, wellness, page, if that is their biggest concern. So I'm easy to find, and do find me and come and visit me. But when you come to visit me, and if you are ready to do the work, we can do amazing things because it's in you. It's in every one of us.
I love it.
So I'm headed off to Dubai in a couple of weeks, and workshops, enrolling in workshops, that's ongoing, so it doesn't stop. We have some special programs, coming up, and in April we're going to have a Reiki class. My first Reiki class online. I've been doing it for more than 30 years live, but I just have to get into it online because you can't stop energy. So. Mm-hmm. I'm getting past my own fear, my own stuff, and I'm going to do that Reiki class. But I will announce that. I'm on Facebook, Nailah G. Beraki. I'm on all social media, LinkedIn and Instagram. But if you see Nailah Beraki on Instagram with an underscore, that is not me. Someone actually took my face and my name and put an underscore. That is not me.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So as you see
can
down
find me
below,
in all those areas.
right, make sure you connect with Dr. Beraki. And with no further ado, remember NailahGBeraki.com without the underscore. Again, get her book on Amazon and get the Unstoppable book, And Fear is a Good Thing. And until we see you again, make sure you share this broadcast. And to all of you all around the world, we love you. We send you love, peace, and light. And don't forget, do things, read things, read books that's going to boom your business. Not just the business of business, but your business of life. We thank you and have a good night. You know, everybody wants to get their business booming. They want to get their business right where they are. Well, guess what? There are books that can help you get your business booming. Lotus Riche, coaching and consultant, and I'm here to bring speakers, authors, and change makers that's going to help you get your business booming. So come on in and get in because I've got amazing speakers like this. Fear is a good thing. Get your books today by Dr. Nailah Beraki at NailahBeraki.com. Get her book on Amazon. Coming straight to you on this check it out webinar on books on books. Guess what? We're going global. We're going to also show it Facebook Live. So we'll see you there. Get in where you fit it. Get books and get your see you. Thank you and good night.